The media is once again upset at Georgia Republicans. This time, Lincoln County, Georgia Republicans want to close 6 out of the 7 polling places, as Rachel tells us. That sounds pretty intense and dramatic. So is voter suppression going on here? Let's take a closer look. So some quick background. Here's Lincoln County. As a population of about 8,000, 70% of them are white, 16.5% do live below the poverty line, and the Census Bureau tells us that the average Lincoln County resident is commuting about 35 minutes to work. Now, my hometown is near Lincoln County, and I have friends out there, and I went out there a good chunk growing up, and so it's not uncommon for these residents to be driving comparable distances to access resources like friends and families' houses, get-togethers, schools, or after-school activities, or going to Augusta, which is the next biggest city, to go to shopping malls, movie theaters, or festivals. Now, the plan is to take these 7 precincts and combine them into one precinct, which would be at a county gym that the government owns in Lincolnton, which is the largest city in Lincoln County. So here we see how far each precinct is to this proposed gym. So for example, the Lincoln Clubhouse is only 2.2 miles away from the gym. The furthest one's 9.4 miles, which isn't all that much given the lifestyle of these residents. And keep in mind, people are assigned to precincts based on address and location. So if someone's been voting at Lincoln Clubhouse, odds are they're not too far from that gym. So when all is said and done, there's about an average distance change of 5.9 miles, and I have the median and range there as well. Interestingly, I took the 2020 presidential election results and created margins of victory for each precinct. The only precinct that has a majority of voters voting for Democrats happens to be the one that would be least impacted by the precinct closures. But let's look at raw numbers. So here we have those same precincts with the number of people that voted them in the 2020 presidential election, along with the number of total registered voters. And again, the only Democratic stronghold here doesn't have that many people voting at it when you're comparing to other precincts, and doesn't really have that large of a percentage of the total voting population. When you look at Martin's Crossroad, which is the furthest, or Tabernacle, or Lincoln Theater, these are largely Republican areas, and those are the ones that are going to be most impacted by these changes. So whether you're looking at partisan outcomes or just raw numbers, Democratic and minority voters don't seem to be the ones that are going to be heavily impacted. Don't get me wrong, all voters are going to be impacted by it, but that extent's going to vary. Now, I don't know why they want to do this. I couldn't find that much information on it. They might think it's more cost effective or maybe more efficient to pool all their resources for a relatively small population into one centralized area. So is this smart policy? Probably not. Is it racist voter suppression? Most definitely not, considering that the people that would be most impacted by this are going to be Republican voters who are overwhelmingly white. So no voter suppression, in my opinion. It's my interpretation. What do you think?